So this clueless LBC presenter says that Donald Trump is authoritarian because he's standing up to judges and the education system in America. So let's see what he says.
Look at the various targets that Donald Trump is going after. They all come out of the classic authoritarian playbook. He's going after the judges. He's going after the lawyers, literally the nation's white-collar law firms. He's, of course, going after journalists. He's going after scientists. And now he's really turning his fire on universities with this crackdown, particularly on foreign students, the other. And all of this, according to the Trump administration, is an effort to prevent what they refer to as radical propagandists from finding themselves in a position where they can participate in acts of anti-Semitism on campus, by which, of course, the Trump administration means that these students are engaging in their constitutionally protected free speech right to participate in pro-Palestinian, or in some cases, pro-Israel demonstrations on campuses.
Okay, so he mentioned some interesting things there. I'm more interested in the first half of this video, to be honest, where he mentions about Trump being authoritarian and the fact that he's attacking, in quotes, because it's not really attacking, it's merely standing up to them, but standing up to judges and the education system. Now, what I always find with these people who defend the establishment like to the death is that they come at an angle where they're thinking within the system. So they act like the system was created by some sort of almighty sort of higher power who is always right and who has no other influences or no variables, when that is not true at all, right? The system that we live in is created by humans, it's created by man, and man and humans make mistakes all the time. And also we have our own, narratives and influences. Example, education and law and judges is money and power, right? I mean, there's a lot of money to be made in education and law, and there's a lot of power to be gained through, ideologies that you push forward, through decisions that you make as a judge, and, through being elected to various bodies and governing bodies. So that is the first thing. These people need to take a step back and look at it from outside, and there's clearly a bias in our education system, especially, and that's something that I know firsthand. Through my time in education, I spent a lot of time in education, a lot of time in higher education as well. I've just finished my master's degree, and I can absolutely guarantee you that there are narratives and ideologies that are pushed in every single university aspect, and that doesn't matter what you're studying, whether you're studying humanities, whether you're studying a vocational degree, law, medicine, or whether you're studying business or STEM, you will get some sort of net zero and diversity narrative, whatever you do. And that is something that I found throughout my whole time at university. I studied at 2 different universities, and it was the same in both of them. And friends that I have in other places have also mentioned that as well. So, standing up to this and just saying, look, you are clearly doing something wrong and pushing these ideas and this narrative is not being authoritarian. Okay, authoritarian does not mean that at all. Of course, in authoritarian governments that did happen. However, it was not in the same way as it's being done here, or is being done in the United Kingdom, for example. When you see, Reform UK and conservative people criticise our education system, that is not authoritarian. That is just an opinion, and in many ways also a fact. So, this again shows no defence to these people who defend them. There's no defence that is possible because there's no logical defense. They're just throwing these words out there, authoritarian, racist, Nazi, whatever, and it is not sticking anymore. It's not sticking to the wall anymore because people have had enough and people are starting to notice. But what do you think? Do you think that attacking judges, the law, and also lawyers and the education system is authoritarian? Do you think it's dangerous? Do you think it could lead us down a dangerous path? Or do you think it's just logical given the current circumstances in these institutions?